gosh. Jasper, lovely to see you.
Good to see you, Alan.
So what's all this about Indian wines?
Well, this is a new range from Waitrose. There's a red and a white. We're going to taste the white today. It's a Ritu. It comes from just south of Mumbai. And the grape variety it's made of is Viognier, which is peculiar to the southern end of the Rhone Valley, really, where they make a wine called Condrieu. It's got a very peachy overtone to it. But India is starting to produce wine. It's made sparkling wine for a long time. And this is a sort of a new arrival.
Are we far
Then
left?
we're going left to right.
Right, okay.
So this is £8.99 a bottle from Waitrose. It's dropped down to £6.99 for a period to promote it. I can tell you it is nearly sold out. And when you taste it, you're not really surprised. But the peachy overtones.
I quite like that.
That is quite nice.
I'm sorry to
Quite
sound
crisp.
surprised, but, you know, you generally have a beer when you go for an Indian, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
You do that.
But this is
Bring
very...
on the Cobra.
It's got a lovely peachy overtone, which you're expecting from this grape variety. And then you've got a lovely sort of soft finish to the back, good acidity.
Jodie, what do you think?
I think that's really quite... It's quite light, isn't it? I thought it was going to be quite heavy.
And with curry, where you've got slightly fruitier flavours, that fruitiness goes very well with it. And it isn't sweet, it ends on a sort of dry note at the back.
It does
which is rather
perfect.
fun.
I can imagine eating a curry with this, can't you?
Can you?
Yeah. You're free after.
Are you asking me on a date?
We like that.
We like that. But this,
Are you a Korma girl?
Oh, no.
But this area has been growing grapes for years. 100 years ago, it was making loads of grapes for table use, just for eating the grapes. And there's this myth that grapes used for growing wine or making wine are sour, but they're not. They're even sweeter than normal grapes.
So we should not spurn Indian wine. It's Ritu. It's good. Well,
And so you said this is the one where they kept bringing over lots of sparkling wines.
They did. They did. It was called Omar Khayyam, was a sparkling wine that was very popular.
I'll
but
not
it sort
remember
of
that.
drifted away. Anyway,
Do you know, whenever she comes on, I just take a back seat, really. Next
we're going to Romania next.
Romania?
And Romania, we're having the first Cape Discoveries series. This is available at Tesco's.
Excuse me.
£5.99.
This is a glass of water.
Yeah. Now, the grape variety here is one you like. This is a very popular Pinot Grigio.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Very popular in Italy, where it's grown extensively, and it's going down well already, funny enough. 12.5 degrees of alcohol, same with the Indian one, so proper levels, quite light. And here you've got everything you would expect from Pinot Grigio, except for the colour. It is very pale.
Why is it so pale? Oh, I don't.
You know.
It's a bit too...
Well, it's a little bit more fresh than the other one.
It is fresh.
No,
It's got a slightly sweeter approach to it, if you like.
Yeah.
But Pinot Grigio is the very popular grape variety. In this part of the world, they have to pick it very early in the morning because their summer days get terribly hot. And the Pinot Grigio grape is unusual in that it does have a slightly pink skin to it. And so you can press it later in the day and get a pink wine. So if it's not picked before midday, it turns into a rosé. So this is just still
So
white.
why is this so clear? That means it looks like water.
So clear. It's just the nature of the grapes
Right.
picked
Well,
very early in the
you
season.
don't like that as much as the first?
No, I prefer the first one, I do, actually. I'd stick to India.
OK,
Stick
she
to
can
India.
take that bottle.
Okay.
I'll take-
Now
Right, where are we next?
now we're jumping in the deep end here. We're going off to Georgia, and this is called Orovela. And now I've got to work on this one. Separavi is the grape
Are we
variety.
talking the Russian Georgia here, or the
Or an
American
American.
Georgia?
No, we are talking the Russian Georgia.
Oh,
here.
fine.
I do
I just felt
apologise.
I ought to clear that up.
I beg your pardon.
I didn't know there was
I
a
hope
Georgia.
the accent helped a little bit there. I've got to work on that, haven't I?
An awful lot. Right,
Anyway, but-
so
this is a peculiar grape variety, Separavi to Georgia. It's a big, as you can see from the colour, a big, thick black grape. And this makes a lovely, heavy, lush wine you'd expect to come from this part of the world.
How much?
And this is £15.99 from Waitrose, expensive wine, but it's made just like a sort of old-fashioned Bordeaux. Lots of oak aging.
That's lovely, that.
This is so good. Aren't you sorry you're not tasting? That's...
It's like a geography lesson as well.
You would think this was quite alcoholic, wouldn't you?
You would think this was very strong.
12.5 degrees, or as my dear friend says, 12.5 volts, as she likes to call it. 12.5 degrees of alcohol, so not a big, heavy thing. And it's got big, heavy nose, but it finishes on a very light...
It's lovely,
Sort of-
that,
It's a big
isn't it?
wine, isn't
Funny
it, though?
thing.
Full-bodied.
Don't applaud him.
But it just is, isn't it?
You can stuff your date.
I was going to offer you lychees as well, but never mind. Right, we like that.
We like that one.
How much was it again?
£15.99 available at Waitrose.
But it's worth it.
But I think that will age as well. That'll go on and on and on. It's got lots of tannin in there. It's got plenty of time ahead of it. Then on to your last one, which is a favourite of mine. We're off to Lebanon. And here we're going to the winery called Chateau Mouzar, which is in the Bekaa Valley.
Lovely.
But this is another wine they make, and they call it Hoshar Pere Fils. The family name is
Almost
Hoshar.
perfumed, isn't it?
It is. I can still taste the last one. And just...
This is a blend of grape varieties. You've got the Rhone represented here. You've got Carignan and you've got Sanso in here. And then added to that, you've got Grenache, spicy grape varieties, and then a big chunk, 60% of Cabernet Sauvignon, the Bordeaux blend, which sort of brings it all together.
This is a class act, this isn't it?
This is rather nice. And this
nice.
ages. And what is rather fun about this is you can open it and you can leave it open for 2 or 3 days, and it's just delicious.
It's still the same. It's
There'll
beautiful.
be nothing left after
Yeah,
an
it
evening.
doesn't really... This is a majestic wine at $11.99, but it is widely available through independent wine
That's
merchants.
superb.
And that's rather fun,
What do you
isn't
think of that one, Jodie?
So I'm shocked how affordable it is, really. It's lovely. Though, actually, I've got to say, I prefer
The two
the
reds.
reds.
Yeah.
They are
Yep.
beautiful flavours,
And this
aren't
last
they?
one?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
Really nice.
Love it. So we go for those wonderful details of all the wines. Find on my website, itv.com /Alan. My thanks to the lovely Jodie Prenger. And of course,
Are you slurring?
Jasper Corbett. Still ahead this Friday afternoon. Lord knows. Oh no, one of our most popular actresses, cutting it in Doctor Who star Sarah Parish, is here. Our studio audience decide whether it's Les Mis, Wicked or Jersey Boys that play out the show. And I'm making over, to some hope, another one of your rundown garden supper to get sobered up and out of the soup quick sharp. See you in a couple of minutes.